Hi guys, it's Ruby with Oofy Scraps here for another 12 by 12 layout, and today we are scrapbooking a photo from 2018, I believe, and it's Mother's Day. So it's a picture of my mom in the middle and then me on the left and my brother's girlfriend on the right, and this is the same brother's girlfriend who was in that layout I did a few videos back. I forget what it was called. Oh, Clink, Cheers Clink, something like that. Anyways, yeah, so we had gone to a really cool restaurant that's right on the water for Mother's Day, and then we took this photo. And in the picture, we're wearing, my brother's girlfriend and I, and actually my mom is too, but we're all wearing really patterned, like cardigan type things. And I wanted to find a paper that kind of emulated that, and I couldn't find anything in the same color scheme. So I decided to find paper that kind of felt more something like my mom would like, and she's obsessed with hot air balloons. So I chose this hot air balloon paper, and the hot air balloon has these they each have different stripes of pattern, and they're all patterns that are represented in other papers in the paper pad. And let me see if I could figure out the name of that paper pad for you guys. I've been trying to remember to include that. Let me just dig through my stuff really quick. Here it is. It is the My Mind's Eye designer paper pad in Well Hello. Like the theme or whatever is Well Hello. Don't know if that's available still. I got it Tuesday morning, so sometimes it's discontinued stuff at Tuesday morning. But anyways, I pulled out a bunch of those papers, and I think I only used scraps. So I'd use this, besides the background photo, of course, or paper, of course. I pulled a bunch of scraps out from that same collection to use to do a ton of layering, which was kind of the thing for this spread. I did a lot of layering, and I did another one of those very concentrated embellishment areas. Just one section of the page is a lot of layers, a lot of embellishments, and then the rest of the page is pretty empty because I really wanted you to be able to see those hot air balloons. So just going through and layering away. This is something I've gotten to really like recently, is adding a ton of mats. And you can see I use a very small amount of each paper, but it adds a really cool look when they're all grouped together. And I do end up doing a little bit of work creating sort of different edges. So I think I do a border punch on this one. I end up tearing a different one. So just ways to add interesting types of layering. And I do a little bit of repositioning here and there because sometimes I cut it a little bit off. Not crooked because I'm using my paper trimmer, which I've been using my paper trimmer a ton more lately, ever since my scissors have gotten super sticky, and no, I have not cleaned them still. Don't know if I ever will. I only remember when I sit down to scrapbook, and by then it's too late. But it's been forcing me to use my paper trimmer, which hasn't been the worst thing. Getting some good use out of that. But I sometimes just trim things too wide. Or too thin, I guess, sometimes too, and so I have to reposition. But that's another reason why glue sticks are great, because it's pretty easy to reposition stuff, but then once it's super dry, it holds on pretty well. So there's me doing my punch. I chose the scallop with hearts punch. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's a scallop. And that's pretty cute. Again, that's my American Crafts knockout punch set. I don't know if they still make it. I should look that up and figure it out for you guys because I don't know. But it's definitely very handy. It's a good little collection of punches, and I'm gluing it down onto some more paper, some blue with like little plus signs, I think, yeah, those are little blue plus signs. So it's like a darker blue with a lighter aqua kind of color is what the plus signs are. And there I go tearing. And again, when you tear paper, if you don't want to have that raw white edge showing, you have to like tear the top, the part you want to not have the raw edge. Like I have that in my left hand, and then on my right hand, I'm pulling down with the edge that's going to not be on the page. I don't know if that makes sense. It's kind of a visual thing if you watch the video footage. Then I was going to do a yellow layer, but I think I end up not doing it. But yeah, so that's where I end up putting it on the left side, really switching it up, living my life on the edge, not doing a right-sided spread, because I like to have my right-sided spreads on the right page of my books. So if I have all right-sided spreads, I don't know what I'm going to do for my left pages. So here I go, putting it on the left. Because it wasn't like a super, like polarized, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word at all. But this, you know, the photo doesn't say, you know, show too much of like one person looking to one side or the other or facing a certain way. It's pretty dead on. So it was fine to put it on the right side, or left side. Left side. Normally, a lot of my photos, for some reason, seem to be like people looking in, looking to their right, which sort of looks to the left if you look at it. I'm not making any sense. But anyways, we put it on the left side and we're happy about it. And then I'm creating a little tag out of some yellow paper. I was looking into getting a tag punch. I have a huge order of scrapbook.com. It's actually just my cart is super full. And then I knocked a million things over. Some nail polish remover, some sunscreen. But anyways, I saw these tag punches, which looked really handy, but they're kind of expensive. They're like $20-something. And I make them myself really easily. So I put it in my save for later cart. But I'm thinking about getting those. If anyone has one of those, please let me know if you guys like it below. And then I wanted to put some of my little scrunched up tissue paper, but I realized I'd already stuck the photos down with that super strong adhesive, double-sided tape. So I took a bit of paper and cut it down right to the width of those layers of paper, all of my matte paper layers, and I end up putting a little tape, double-sided tape down there, and I do tissue paper scrunching kind of thing onto that strip, and then I can tuck that strip underneath the page or the layers. So it works out. You'll see what I'm doing. Again, trying to explain things that are better visually explained by what I'm doing, which is funny. You can't really see it. Oh yeah, you can. Here I go. So I have my tiny strip. It's hard for you guys to see, probably because it's a similar color. But yeah, that little skinny strip of paper is the same width as the biggest mat behind my photo. And I just put a little tiny strip of the double-sided tape, and then I'm going to crinkle up my tissue paper on top of that, and then I'll stick all of that underneath the photo mat, like the last photo mat. So yeah, again, it's just kind of like a disorganized accordion situation. And I always end up having too much in like length. So I end up trimming it down, but it's totally fine. It's not a big deal to trim down. And this is like a hot, hot pink, but it's kind of brushed with gold or like pinky gold shimmer. The tissue paper is, and it's just some random old tissue paper I have. I don't know. But yeah, so there we go. Now I'm going to trim it all out because you can see when you scrunch it, it ends up getting pretty crooked, and it's also just way too long. So trim that down and get it stuck on the paper. Whoops. Dropping things. And then I put another piece of adhesive on the back of that so it sticks to the paper. And I really, really like this technique. It's again something I got from one of the many Inky Quill videos Adele has made. I'm super obsessed. I think she's my favorite scrapbook YouTuber that I watch. I recently discovered her like in the last couple weeks, and I've watched so many of her videos already. I also really like Shamel Lane. I've followed her for the longest. And I also really like Sue's Fish. I watch her videos too. They all have very different styles, which I think makes them exciting and interesting to watch. So yeah, if you have any suggestions, I'm always looking for more because I feel like I binge them so fast. I really like watching scrapbook videos while I scrapbook because it feels like I'm scrapbooking with friends even though I'm alone. So if you're watching my video and you ever see me like reach across the screen, if I'm not looking for a date online from like a photo that I've taken, I'm often like changing or clicking on the next video while I'm watching. So then I'm putting a bunch of washi tape down. I got some of this orangey pink polka dot washi and then some blue arrow. It's like an aqua arrows washi. And then I think I add, yeah, this one more is like a darker teal. It's super skinny. So I add that down. And I have my 3 little embellishment areas are starting to get decided. So it's the top left, bottom right, and then kind of, it's on the right side a little bit of ways up. So like 3/4 of the way up the page is my 3rd embellishment spot. You'll see them come to life more as I, sorry, I'm yawning, as I stick more things down. So I stuck this flower down, And then I end up putting some butterflies down because they're the right colors. And I'm kind of torn about the whole butterfly thing. I don't really resonate with butterflies at all, and there's a lot of butterfly embellishments. But I felt like because this page is the hot air balloons and the butterflies fly, hot air balloons fly, there's little birds in the background, it felt appropriate to use butterflies. And it kind of made me think, maybe butterflies aren't so bad after all. I didn't dislike them before. I just don't know how I feel about them as a scrapbook embellishment for my pages personally. But I don't know. We'll see if it sticks. I don't know if it will. I don't really have that many other butterfly supplies, so I don't know that it's going to be popping up all that more often. But anyways, sticking my embellishments down. And something on this page I do that's exciting is I use brads. So I have these brads from forever ago. And you can see them on the top right. I've got a little jar of them. It's actually an old makeup pot that I kind of like cleaned out and painted the lid yellow with glue glitter for some reason. And I stuck all my little brads in there, and they're tiny brads in multiple different colors. And I used to use them all the time, but I've just gotten lazy, I think. And now I have this really great, let's see, what is it? We Are Memory Keepers hole poker, basically. It's just like a little pokey stick. And I use that to poke the holes for the brads, which I used to use an X-Acto blade, I think, and it's just much easier with the little poker. So let's do that later. But I guess first I put my title down. So I used 3 different letter stickers, these little puffy sticker tiles. I use the blue ones, and then I pull out 2 different kinds of chipboard. Yeah, 2 different chipboard. So I do end up using that colorful, like the 4 or 5 multicolored ones that are below the puffy stickers, and I also use these ones on the left, which are also chipboard. They're white with a gold outline. And I spell out Happy Mom's Day, like Mother's Day, but Mom's. I thought it was kind of cute. And also it was shorter, so it's easier to spell with letter stickers. But I forget to put an exclamation point, an apostrophe between the last M and S in Mom's, because it's like Mom's Day, like ownership. Not because I really care that much about grammar, but mostly because I care about using up the punctuation-y type stuff in my letter sticker packs. So that was a big fail, and I was going to go back and fix it, but I don't know if there's enough room there. I'm sorry, I keep yawning. I don't know why. It's literally not even 9 p.m. yet, but I'm sorry. Anyways, I wish I would have done that because it would have been an excuse to use a little bit more of my sticker sheet that I probably otherwise wouldn't use. But I've bumped them up so high to be so close to the happy that I spelled out in the blue puffy stickers that I don't know if there'll be room. But anyways, it's not the biggest deal in the world. It's just something I kind of am kicking myself about. And yeah, this is, again, the most riveting part of the video is watching Ruby try and spell things out, find the right letters, decide where to put them down, and then I end up having to like reinforce the next word, day, with those colorful stickers. They don't have the best sticking strength, which is interesting because I'm pretty sure they're both thickers and they're both card chipboard. So I don't know why they wouldn't have similar sticking power. I guess one pack might be just like had been sitting on the shelf longer than the other. I don't really know. But anyways, we stick them down. And I pick out the colors, which, you know, I don't dislike multicolored letter stickers if the colors go well together, which they usually do, and they're colors that kind of work with my color scheme. And these are. It's just I have a hard time deciding which color should be which letter, especially when I'm not going to use one of every color. So like I think I did end up using the navy or the pink. I don't remember which. I didn't end up using one of the colors because there's 5 colors and I only needed 4 letter stickers, I think. So I like have a hard time deciding which should be the one that I leave out. But the exclamation point was red, and then here I go to reinforce it. So I used the navy blue for the D, a light pink for the A, the aqua for the Y, and then the red exclamation point I didn't pick. It just was decided for me. And they're not sticking, so I get my super, super strong sticky tape, and it's actually kind of too wide in many parts of this, but there's so much going on behind it that I figure you won't notice it, and I just couldn't be bothered to trim it all down. So yeah, even more exciting, just extending the fun of sticking down letter stickers. But yeah, this page is pretty different for me in the sense of colors. They're a lot more saturated. I prefer kind of soft pastel colors, very colorful, but more pastelish, I guess. So this is kind of a fun color scheme. And I also don't like pink. I don't think I have a single pink clothing item in my closet. I might have pink t-shirts that are like pajama shirts, but I really can't even think of anything. Like, unless it's like a tie-dye shirt that has pink involved in it, I don't think I have any pink shirts. But I use a lot of pink in scrapbooking, and I think it's because that's a common color. But I don't mind pale pink. The hot pink is a little harder for me to get behind, even though, you know, I did use hot pink tissue paper on this spread. It just matched really well, and I like the tissue paper technique, so I went with it. I don't think it looks bad, I just don't like pink that much, which I feel like might be surprising if you've seen videos of mine where I use very pink layouts. I actually did one, I think after this, maybe it was before, but it's a picture from Europe, and it's like a pink background. It's like a pale pink lined background. So anyways, I'm kind of a hypocrite in that way, but it's alright, it's whatever. So here I am with the brads, I think. Yeah, I'm picking out which colors, and I have so many different colors. And I think I'm kind of trying to use them up because I've had them for a long time. And they're pretty much the same idea as enamel dots. They're a little harder to use in that you don't just stick them down, but they stay really well because they're like poked through the paper and like secured through the other side. And I think they give a different effect than enamel dots because they are metal. But yeah, there's my little poker stick, and it's super, super easy to use. It pokes through multiple layers much easier. I used to use either like an embroidery needle, which was fine, it was just hard to get through, and hard to control, obviously. And then I also would use just an X-Acto blade, but that would create like a line, and it was often too wide, so the brad would slide up and down, or it was like a certain direction. Anyways, this is just way easier. So you can see the little holes I poked. But I do use my X-Acto blade. The brads are hard to like break the two legs apart, so I use the X-Acto blade, and carefully not stabbing myself, I slice between the two little brad leggy things to poke them through. So yeah, I don't know, I just think it's fun. I really like those, you know, like stitching through pages, which I haven't done in a YouTube video yet, but I do really like using embroidery floss and stitching through photos. I know people use a sewing machine sometimes, but it's just simpler to me to use the embroidery floss, I guess. But yeah, then I like the brads. I like kind of stuff like that that's substantial. It feels substantial and like adds serious texture to a page. I like that a lot. So I end up adding 2 sections of brads, that top side area and then the bottom right of the photo. I add more. So I ended up using an orange one, a red one, a blue one, and then like a pearlized white one. So the pearly, it was like had glitters on it. But yeah, so hopefully I'll be using brads more often. It was super easy. It's just like one little step. And I think it's a cool effect, like I was saying earlier. So hopefully I'll stick with it and use them more. So, and I thought about I have this bigger brad that's kind of like a flare badge type of thing, but it didn't end up looking right on this page, so I ended up using it. Now what am I doing? Scissors. Oh, cutting more double-sided tape. Oh, for the buttons. So after I did that scrap lift Saturday and used the button to put over the tag, I just remembered how fun buttons were, and I think I used to not use them because I would feel like I had to stitch through them through the holes, but then I was like, I don't need to do anything, I can do whatever I want. So I just stuck the button on and didn't stitch through the holes, and it was kind of enlightening, you know? I don't think there's any rules in scrapbooking, and honestly, I think if my little hole poker would have poked through that button thing, I would have, but it was too thick to poke through, so I didn't. But then here I am using some Mr. Huey's Mist in Sky, flicking that around, kind of like some little raindrops in the sky. And do I use a different color? Oh, yep, and I also use I don't know if it's red or pink. It's called Rudolph, so I guess it's supposed to be red, but I've used it on pink pages, and here I'm using it kind of insinuating that it's pink. So it's definitely kind of an in-betweener, which is nice because I can use it on red pages to make it feel red, and pinky pages to make it feel sort of more pink. And then I really wanted to use that clip because it was the perfect shade of pink, and I don't often use hot pink like I was saying, but it just didn't fit right, so I didn't. And then of course, we're going to add some wood veneers, and of course you're going to need wood veneer hearts. I also was able to incorporate another one of my Live, Love, Laugh, I think it is. I just know it doesn't sound right. Yeah, Live, Love, Laugh. Little wood veneers. And again, it's supposed to be Live, Laugh, Love. So I don't know who designed it and did that wrong. But it really bothers me. But I've been trying to use them, even though it feels a bit odd. And so here's my second page incorporating one. So I'm pretty proud of that. And then, of course, some hearts. And I decided instead of using a glue stick, because it was going over washi tape and a sticker, just use a little bit of double-sided tape behind that Live, Love, Laugh thingy. Wood veneer? Not a thingy. It's a wood veneer. And then I'm using my glue stick to glue down a couple of hearts. I also added that label sticker up at the top right. I don't know if I mentioned that, but I end up putting a little bit of a date on there. I love those super skinny label stickers to put the date on. I feel like it just gives it a good little foundation for that. What's next here on the docket? It looks like I'm looking up the date. See, this is one of those times where I'm not switching the video, I'm looking up the date of the photo. So this is something I post on Instagram. So I went to look up what the date was. And I'm pretty sure it was 2018. So again, I'm constantly working on different books at a time. And this is going to go to my 2018 yearly album. I have a yearly album where I just put highlights from the year. And I obviously am not passionately working on my 2018 album. This is one of the only photos I've done for the 2018 album that I can think of in the last year. But every now and then there's a photo I really like from the year, so I do go back and do it. And sometimes that sparks a little inspiration. So here I'm using those little tile stickers. They're clear with black numbers, and I'm sticking out the numbers for the date. And then to emphasize that it's the date, I end up putting little dark gray enamel dots between the three numbers so that it's clear that it's like 5, whatever the date was, 2018. But yeah, so technically I'm working on more than scrapbooks than I guess I claim to be working on, because I'm sort of always working on years past albums, but it's just not a very consistent thing, so I don't consider that. And if you're interested, right now I'm technically working on my Thanksgiving book, which I kind of finished, but I'm going to go back and adjust a few things. And I'm working on my Bali scrapbook, my Europe book, and my 2020 album. But anyways, I tried this flare badge, it doesn't work out, and other than that, I think that's it. Unless I do something very last minute here. But yeah, I think that's it for the video. I'm pretty happy with this page, a little bit of a different color scheme, and we're on the left side of the page, so I'd call that a win. I hope you guys enjoyed, and have a good rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one. Happy scrapping, everybody!